Martha had always loved flowers. She didn't have a lot of experience seeing them in the wild, though, as she had always lived in arid places, starting in Wyoming and now in Idaho. Mostly, it was too cold for them. Some winters in Aberdeen got down to -40 degrees. If Martha wanted to grow flowers, she had to keep them indoors and find ones that didn't require a lot of water. So, in 1921, when she obtained a special flowering cactus, she was intrigued. The cactus was native to Brazil and more orchid-like than a U.S. desert cactus. It had unique segmented stems, and when the bright pink flowers bloomed, they were spectacular. It was called a Christmas cactus, and it quickly became one of Martha's favorite plants. It brought color and interest to an otherwise harsh life in the remote town in Idaho. 63 years later, Martha's Christmas cactus was in Yvonne's home. She'd inherited it from her mother-in-law and had cared for it all this time. Now she was getting older and finding it hard to care for herself. She'd been a widow for 10 years and her health was declining. So she moved in with her daughter, so Beth could help take care of her. Yvonne didn't take very many things with her, but she made sure to bring the Christmas cactus. She lived in the downstairs apartment of Beth's house. It didn't have many windows, so she left the plant upstairs with Beth's family so it could enjoy more sunlight. In January 1985, Yvonne's fate from cancer was clear, and she moved to Peggy's house in Boise. A cutting of the Christmas cactus that had been in Yvonne's care from 1954 on migrated to Boise. Yvonne passed away in March 1985, leaving the Christmas cactus in Peggy's care. Peggy maintained the Christmas cactus for another 39 years, and today it continues to live on the dining room table in Peggy's house. When Pam joined the family by marrying Frank, she bonded with her mother-in-law. Yvonne's heirloom plant inspired Pam to get her own Christmas cactus. Pam, who loved plants, was excited to have an indoor plant that she could nurture. Pam and her family moved to the Pacific Northwest in 1985, and they eventually settled in Vancouver, Washington in 1986. The Christmas cactus came along, and Pam cared for it enthusiastically inside, while also nurturing many outside plants and flowers in her yard. Pam's plants and flowers are well loved and continue to bloom well today. Pam had a special relationship with the Christmas cactus, encouraging it to be healthy and to grow and bloom as well as possible. The Christmas cactus bloomed well for her over the years, but it frustrated her by inconsistently blooming from year to year. It bloomed sometimes in the fall season and sometimes in the spring season. Sometimes it actually bloomed in the holiday season, following the intention of its name. Pam replanted cactus starts several times, encouraging the plant to flourish. She shared starts with friends who also tried to nurture the plant. Some friends would even have Pam plant sit their cactus starts periodically in attempts to have their starts be as healthy and bright as Pam's was. In 2023, the Christmas cactus resided in Pam's living room. The plant had bloomed the previous Thanksgiving season of 2022, but the blooming subsided before Christmas, after about a month of showing its flowers. It was a common blooming period that usually lasted 3 to 6 weeks when it occurred. On March 6, 2023, Pam felt ill from a pulmonary thrombosis. After a week of heroic efforts to save her, the determination was made that she was not going to survive. On March 13th, Pam was placed in comfort care and preparations were made for her inevitable death. On March 18th, she passed away. However, on the evening of March 15th, something remarkable occurred. The Christmas cactus in the living room began to bloom. Pam's memorial service was held on March 31st, 16 days after the start of the blooming. The Christmas cactus gained an honored place next to Pam's remains on display for the reception at the service itself. The cactus unmistakably shared the message that although Pam had passed away, her spirit lived in the blooms of her flowers. After the service, the Christmas cactus returned to Pam's living room and bloomed for another 3 weeks until April 20th. The cactus remained a healthy green plant through the spring and summer seasons of 2023, but it was not done making an impact on the Rigby family. The Rigby family was still struggling with relationship problems from years before, and in October, a message was delivered to Frank from Pam's best friend in Vancouver that conflict and anger needed to be put aside and efforts to restore the family needed to be made. It seemed clear that Pam was influencing this message, and positive efforts were made to create good feelings throughout the family. By January, strong efforts were made to perform temple work for Rigby ancestry, as guided by Pam's finding efforts before and after her death. Family members united in this effort, enjoying strong feelings of love as they did this work. By the time the last blooms fell on March 27th, it had been blooming for 24 consecutive weeks. The cactus is a beautiful green plant again, having encouraged our family relationships by projecting its power and beauty over a miraculous duration of time. The Christmas cactus is the logo of the family reunion, extending through the past, current, and future of the family. The Christmas cactus projects love, strength, enjoyment, unity, and forgiveness present in the family. Please wear it with joy.